Right, guys and girls, 2 seconds. Alright, guys and girls, welcome back to another video of mine on my YouTube channel. And as you can see, I'm playing this game in VR on the Oculus Quest at the moment. This is the Apollo, I think it was Apollo 11 VR missions, where you basically, it's more of you just sitting in one place and just sitting in this room to start off with. You watch this like sort of video. I think it kind of lags out a little bit while I was watching it, but it seemed okay just afterwards. I recorded this on the Oculus Quest, and I thought I'd do like a talk over the top of it. Anyway, so recording this in 1080p, 1920 by 1080, but the thing is, because of the pixels, I mean, you're going to get a better quality picture, obviously, with this. Just want to see how well it does. I mean, the actual file size is quite tiny, quite small, because it's kind of compressed in. It's a shame they didn't do it in like sort of proper 1080p, so you can have a full screen. But anyway, you start off in this room, and then next it basically kicks in. There's the moon there. You'll see to the right side, as you see the right side here, you'll see this sort of space rocket or spaceship or shuttle or wherever it's going. It's going to Mars. This was apparently the one where we had the first astronauts on Mars, I think it was, how it was going back in history. So like Buzz Aldrin and all that kind of stuff there. It's pretty cool, actually. It's quite cool. You kind of like feel that you're actually in the game. That's why I was looking around, and you see the moon there as well. And it'd be quite cool, actually, at some point, if they did one where you can be the first person on Mars. When they first do the 2035 mission to Mars, hopefully they do it so you can go on to Mars as well and see what other people are seeing, like a Mars mission. Anyway, so it tells you a little bit about the story of how they got to the moon. And then you take off, and then you'll see yourself in the rocket in a minute, going off. The loading time's not too crazy, but not too fast either for the Quest. This is on the Quest. I'm just watching. I'm just moving around, bobbling my head around. Just see what it does. But anyway, date 16th of July 1969, Kennedy Space Station. So you're in the Kennedy Space Station now, and there's like Buzz Aldrin and Armstrong on there as well, and they're basically talking a little bit about what's going on, how they got there, and how it took them to get to the moon and stuff, and whether they thought they weren't going to get back or not in time. But then recently, I think it was Buzz Aldrin was on about something about it never really happened. They never actually got there. Went to like the moon, so they presume it was probably staged or fixed or something in a way. So I don't know. It is sort of wondering if it is all sort of faked just for people to watch and all that. But yeah, not bad. I mean, it's not a bad game, obviously. It's not a game. It's more like the experience on the Quest. And I think, to be honest, anybody who likes sort of space exploration... Here we go, Neil Armstrong, commander. So he was the commander. And he was commanding the rockets and all that. And with Buzz Aldrin and all that. But I don't know, it's sort of debatable whether this mission where they went to Mars was real or not. So, I don't know. It's kind of debatable, definitely debatable. But yeah, eventually there's been talks actually that they want to move to Mars. They want to move, not Mars, to the moon. They want to move people to the moon. And if you guys and girls watch any of my YouTube channel videos or any of my videos on my astrology and moon videos of me doing my photography of the sky nighttime, you'll see some great captures I've done with it so far, with my camera of the moon and getting up close and personal with it. And you see the actual density and all the little flakes on there. I mean, it talks as well that the moon's not actually real; it's actually hollow and all that. And they reckon they seen some shimmering on the moon as well, it's like it's something going across it or something, like a hologram or something. But that's debatable as well, obviously. But anyway, so I've been playing this. This is pretty cool. Anyway, this takes about a minute to kick in, and I actually look out the window in a minute. You'll see me looking out the window because this is actually 6 degrees of freedom, so you can move around in this rocket and just look around. I was looking at the timer on the wall and stuff there, or on the computer dials, and it goes down for, I think it was like 110 seconds, or 1 minute and 10 seconds, something like that. And then it gets to the point where it ticks down to the last few seconds. I look at all the dials as well. It's pretty cool. It's very authentic. It feels realistic. I don't know if this is the HD version or not. But as you can see, if you look out the window, you can actually see the sun. It's awesome. It's pretty damn decent for a game. I'm actually liking it so far. This game as well. Well, I wouldn't say it's a game. It's just experience of it. But I say game because I'm used to gaming and stuff. But definitely a VR experience. I think this was $7.99. It's definitely worth it in my sort of eyes to like a game. Here we go. Look at that. You can see them moving around. So this is where it's taken off now. So you can see them bobbling around, and you'll see the clouds as well when we get to the clouds. Oh no, actually, it's about to take off. And you can see it. Oh, there we go. There it goes. You can see it's taken off now because you can see us passing the clouds. So, and you can actually see the actual sunlight coming through. Look at that, through the windows to the top as well. I look through there. You have to stay within your barrier. I think you can turn off the barriers so that way they're not annoying to sit there. Because I find, to be honest, when you're sitting there with a barrier around it, it just kind of blocks your sort of view. But yeah, it's great. It's great sort of experience so far. And you'll see the actual light becomes darker in a minute. It becomes darkness. And I actually definitely recommend anyone who likes exploration games or experiences to try this out. I mean, $7.99 isn't bad. It isn't a bad price. It's very good for what you get for it. And there we go. You can see the little planet there as well at the bottom, which I'm looking at, and it gets closer as well. And you'll see the really good bit in a minute. But this is not the full one at the moment. Full video. I was going to do a full video on it, but what I'm doing is going to do this bit of the clips, and then I'm going to do another bit of the part to carry on from it. So I think this is like 20 minutes long, but yeah, it's definitely good in my eyes on it. But as you can see, you've got all these dials. Look at that sun. You can see the sun coming through like sort of the glass there. And actually it does blind you. It does kind of blind you. It makes it realistic that you're actually seeing something that's really bright. And as you can see, as you can look at this window, you can just see the Earth. We've left Earth already. We're in the sort of atmospheric sort of orbit going towards the moon. And yeah, it's absolutely awesome experience. As you can see, they're talking. You can actually hear them talking in the game, but not in this video. I've actually turned it down due to the music because I don't want to get copyright. But then again, they might end up copyrighting me just for this, so I don't know. I'm hoping not. But as you can see, the loading on here is a little bit dreadful, but it's not sort of like intimidating at all. I mean, nothing to really strain about, takes a few seconds to kick, and I would say probably about 20 seconds at the most, 30 seconds. There we go. So well, I wasn't even that actually. Earth orbit now, mission. So as you'll see, as we move around in a minute, you'll see there's a ship there, or a space shuttle, what we're using to actually go across. And as you can see all the stars as well, I was looking at all the stars there, and that's amazing as well, just looking at the night sky of the stars as you're in orbit. But you'll see now the ship, Apollo 11, just basically moving around slowly. It's circling around the Earth so we can get to the moon, and it is a slow process. It's really slow, but it actually shows you what was going on, how it was going on, and you'll see yourself in the ship in a minute. Or was this one? Michael Collins. So I think he was the one who was the speaker or something. Or was it commander or something? Command, something like that. I don't know. I think that was a command. But you'll see it turn around in a second because it goes really slow. And as you can see, the entire Earth almost there. Look at that. That's just awesome. I'm doing this in OBS at the moment, so I can just like show you what's going on in here. And now you'll see it circle. It circles around the ship slowly. And it goes round, it goes round. This is actually very educational as well, guys and girls. If you like educational sort of history on spacecrafts and Apollo missions and all that, this is definitely something for you in a way. As you can see the sun there as well. You can actually see the sun near the Earth. My God, the Earth looks so massive compared to that little bright sort of sun there. And then you'll see in a minute, guys and girls, where it turn off. It literally turns off the engines a minute and then just circles around. It's like it's almost like sort of catapulting around the Earth to get to where it's going. I mean, the technology they had at this time, I think it was just like 1969 or 1963. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. It's when the first men were put onto the moon. And as you can see the Earth as well. It's kind of like sort of bluey white. So I don't know if where it's all snowy there, I don't know if that's like sort of the Antarctic or something. It might be Antarctic there, so it's all like white on the Earth. But as you're seeing now, you'll see it kick in a minute as it's going right round. I only went up to halfway on this one. I didn't go too far on this. But you'll see in a minute, you'll be back in the rocket. And then it starts aligning up the actual rocket itself. And then you'll see the shuttle basically open up as well. As you're in there, as it's docking. This is actually quite interesting. I really like these sort of things. I hope they bring out some more stuff like this for the Quest. Because I definitely would be interested in how they do all their missions and all that. And preparations. I mean, I got the Oculus Quest on the 21st. Got it from pre-ordered a couple of days beforehand. And then because 21st came, it came out on the day of the release, so it came to the house on the day, so that's fantastic. Really good quick timing. This one's almost finished because I think I did like 19-20 minutes of this. So we go, we've got mission time lapsed, and you'll see basically this open up now, and then start descending. Alright, where is it? Where is that? There you go. So it's turning around at the moment, and then you'll see it basically. There's the Earth, nice blue and white sort of clouds and all of that kind of stuff there. Here we go. It's just opening up, and off it goes. There we go. So it's way open now, and then you'll find yourself right into the ship now. This is just basically the first part I've done up to so far, but I mean I've already done it before on the Vive, the Oculus Vive, or not Oculus Vive, the HTC Vive, and it's an awesome experience, especially in, I think it was 4K or HD. I think it was in HD at the time because I got two versions. I got the standard version, and then I got the HD version, but I don't know if this is Apollo 11's HD version, which has come to the Quest, or not, but probably not. Anyway, so they got a lot of buttons in this thing. So basically, opened up the ship Apollo 11, and this is just where they're just prepping really to go to land on the moon. So they have to use that shuttle, and they have to slowly descend onto the moon itself, and that's when they do, because once they start kicking in the thrusters kick in, and then they slowly descend to the moon itself. So it is awesome. It's definitely worth checking out, and this is basically where they're trying to connect now. They're trying to connect it so they can open up the shuttle itself, and then they can use that, and it pulls them to Earth, not to Earth, but to the moon and stuff. So I was just looking around. I think this is where I finished off, though. I finished off around about here. But yeah, we'll be doing some more of this because this is very interesting for me. I think I finished off about here, I think, if I remember rightly. Actually, there we go. And then you see, I don't know if I actually saw this one opening up. I might have seen this one open up. Let's have a look. Or did I turn this one off? I think I might have turned this one off, because it was getting to the good bit where it just opens up the back. Right, so, oh yeah, it's at the back, and then it opens up, and that front bit at the front there basically slowly opens up. So basically you got the big fat sort of shell, and then you've got this hidden inside with this nice sort of gold silvery sort of shuttle, which is the one it's supposed to be getting to the moon. And then you've got the rest of the shell itself, which is just the empty casing, which is actually hidden the actual ship inside, ready for preparation, because it needed the fuel to actually get there. And once that got to the point, it just basically opened up and kept it clear. But anyway, I think this was the last bit actually of the video, and I think I finished off here. But anyway, if you guys and girls enjoy this, let us know what you think for this this one for the Oculus Quest. I actually enjoyed it myself. I don't know if you've checked it out yet yourself for Apollo 11, but it's very intriguing for me. Stay safe all, and I'll see you on the next episode.